Hey guys, thanks for staying connected with us as we provide all day long live coverage here from CMA Industry Week Day 7. Winding down to the end of the presentation, we're putting a spotlight on distributor Automobility and their portfolio of premium brands. Now, this one we kind of saved, a little bit last minute, to be completely honest with you, but we saved one of the most interesting things for the last. You know what? This deserves a new product alert. Well, new product as far as Canadians are concerned. It's a brand that's been around forever, certainly in my book, as a heritage brand in car audio. But back in Canada through Automobility is Memphis. Now, the last time we've seen Memphis was probably a couple years ago. It was through another distributor. In fact, it's been maybe more than a couple years. But anyhow, in that time, what's important is that Memphis has certainly evolved. Brand new look and feel, brand new design, brand new energy. So I invite you to join me for the next 60 minutes as we discover Memphis back in Canada, courtesy of Automobility. Now, to help us on that, we have two very special guests, two guys that are from Memphis that are going to go through the entire lineup. So you dealers are tuning in. You'll get a full contact presentation from courtesy of both Mr. Ellis Mathis, welcome, and Captain himself, Captain Awesome, as some people call him in some circles, Nick Monaco. How are you doing, guys?
Doing good, thanks. Good to see you.
Welcome to CMA Industry Week. You heard me in the intro. This is a big moment because we're talking about a brand that so deserves to be in Canada and now officially is back in Canada with the new partnership with Automobility. Nick, why don't you talk to us a little bit about how exciting this news is?
Well, it's super exciting news. As you mentioned, we kind of signed this deal at the last moment. Normally, we'd have a ton of backup dancers and pyrotechnics and such, but so you're just going to get our two pretty faces for now. Yeah, we're super excited. Automobility, they're back with Memphis in Canada, and they're going to be a full line. They're going to be an extension of Memphis in Canada. We couldn't be more excited.
You know, from experience, I've known the guys at Automobility for many, many years, and they're a brand and a distributor that doesn't really do things halfway. They're kind of an all-in kind of company. So I can only imagine that should Memphis have the product and offering, which I don't know, we're about to find out if you do, they would go all in. So let's talk about maybe some of the offering. What has happened with Memphis since last time we saw you guys up here?
Well, since we've been up there, we've definitely come out with some very innovative and new products that are that's even innovative for the Memphis line. I mean, more innovative than we've ever been before with patented products, as well as getting better looking and still protecting our dealer base. So I'm very excited about the relaunch up north. It's going to be good for our dealers who have loved Memphis for a long time and haven't been able to get it up there. So very excited about it.
You know, Ellis, I mentioned in my little intro that I consider Memphis very much so a heritage brand. Maybe not back to the beginnings of car audio, but certainly when car audio it had its heyday, right? I mean, Memphis was right there in the mix. So to see you guys still there flourishing with new product is great. What kind of energies now? Where does Memphis sit now? Just to give us an update as far as the landscape of car audio is concerned.
I think we're kind of on the forefront. We're developing new products every year. We did a full relaunch about 5 years ago, and we're trying to pull some of those things in from the heritage of the company, things that people knew about us, and kind of integrate that into some more new and innovative products.
All right, that's fantastic. Now, I'm going to guess, like every other good standing audio company, you've kind of expanded your offering from just in the trunk to a couple other areas. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Nick?
Yeah, we've actually we changed our name to Memphis Car Audio in the late 90s, and in 2015 we dropped the car part. We're Memphis Car Audio, so we dropped the car in our name because we are making so much product for the power sports and marine world, and who knows, maybe another world coming up not too distant future. So yeah, we're making products for anything that has a battery now.
Wow, 12-volt battery, no less.
Yes.
All right. I'll tell you what, so that there's some structure to this presentation, and I know time flies, why don't we put up a presentation so we can thoroughly go through the line, and then we'll maybe ask some questions along the way. How about that?
Sounds perfect.
All right. I'll give you the helm, sir.
All right. Well, as you mentioned, we're back on a board partnered up north with Automobility. We're very excited about that. And because we're back, I kind of wanted to share some stuff about the company that maybe, well, I know you didn't know, and I know a lot of people in Canada don't know. So we'll get started. Back in 1919, because that's when our company started. Our current owner and CEO, Arthur Fulmer, his grandfather started the company in 1919, and he owned a livery. So it was people rode horses into town, and they had to do business in Memphis, Tennessee, and he would their livery would change out the horseshoes and clean the saddle, etc., while they did the business. Well, obviously in 1919, it started to shift from horses to cars. So that's when we shifted to started making accessories for Model Ts and other vehicles as they came on board. And if you see in this picture here, we're also the first Duco refinishing department distributor in the United States, which Duco turned into DuPont. So we were the first DuPont distributor in the United States. So we've been in aftermarket auto products since 1919, which is pretty cool. I can safely say that no one else in the industry can say, especially owned by the same family. So Arthur Fulmer III is our owner and CEO, and his grandfather was the first guy to do anything aftermarket auto. So started as Arthur Fulmer radios. We had the first under-dash 4-track radio. We had up on the top left, you'll see some of our portable radios from back in the day. The one on the right, that's one of our 4-tracks or 8-tracks. It's well before me, so I can't tell you exactly which. And then getting down at the bottom, when we started to change our name to Fultron, you could see that's an OG audio display, if I have to say so.
My God, is that ever OG right there?
Yeah. So going back to radios, here's an ad that we had from 1955 when we were still making seat covers. So we were big in the seat covers and floor mats, and then in 1965 we started making radios. And here's a sweet ad from the 70s. You can tell by the hair, talking about selling Arthur Fulmer radios and stereos. So, and then the 80s, we were lucky enough to be hi-fi to get Mr. Dave Brubeck to be wired with Arthur Fulmer car stereo system. So it was, we've been doing it a really, really long time. And then after Arthur Fulmer's radios, we transitioned our name to Fultron, which a lot of at least dealers in the United States will understand selling Fultron back in the late 80s, early 90s.
I totally remember Fultron.
Yeah.
100%.
So great name. I don't know why we changed it, except for when we did change it, our sales tripled. So apparently it wasn't the greatest name ever, but same company. So that's when we got into the independent car audios when this started. This would be late 80s, early 90s when audio started to exist. So then 102 years later, here we are, Memphis Audio. Started audio in 1965, but again, been in aftermarket auto for 102 years. So a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that we're still owned by two people. Arthur Fulmer and his sister Catherine are the two people that own our company and have been that way since their grandfather owned it 102 years ago. So moving into our mission statement, which is turns and profits for dealers, performance and value for consumers, backed by the best service. So that's how we built our name. We never spent a ton of money on marketing. We've always built our brand through our dealer base. So when we were selling to brick and mortar dealers for the last 102 years, that's how our name was built. And it's no different from our dealers buying through distribution now. Like, we're talking about service, we're talking about support, we're talking about making money when you sell our product. Everybody's happy from the end user. We listen to the young kids and the old guys to see what they want, and then we make it profitable for everyone to sell it. That's our goal. And this is a quick snapshot of the amount of time and money we spend on tracking our maps online to keep that margin where it needs to be. And that's our message from start to finish is when you sell our product, not only are you going to be supported, but you're also going to be able to make money. So the top line there shows how many of our products are listed online, the top graph, and the bottom graph starts it was 2019 when we started tracking our maps heavily. And down here in the US, we were always told we did a good job tracking our maps. But if you look there, when we started with this company in the middle of August of 19, how many violations we had and now you can see where we're at now, which is but less than 10 at any given moment online. So our goal is making money with our line. That's what we want to provide.
That's a big cleanup.
Yeah. And then we were told then that we had one of the best lines out there with that spike. So it means we're really, really good now. All right. Well, as you mentioned, we got a lot of new stuff, and this is our first time working with you and our first time in Canada in a couple of years. So there's a lot to talk about, but let's just start with what's new. So we'll get right out of the gate. This is a relaunch of a classic. If you've been a Memphis dealer or know Memphis, you know the Memphis Bell. This is a well-known amplifier. We've relaunched it in a limited edition. So I have one here. This is a prototype. It's fake number 1. So every amplifier will have the number silkscreen right there. So 99 was the first year we launched the Bell in the Memphis line. 21 is when we officially launched it in December this year, or January this year. I'm sorry. And then everyone will be individually numbered. This is in our newest VIV V2 amp line. So we'll get more into those features there, but this bar is lights up LED on both sides of the end caps. Also light up LED, so lights up underneath. All the controls are underneath this panel.
Oh, snap.
So we try to hide most of our controls from the end user, so our quality dealers can set up the controls, and hopefully the end user doesn't mess with it. But the cool thing about the Memphis Bell, this is a different color than the rest of the series. Again, limited edition. It's gold. It's silver, just like the original Bell was. It's got the original badge on it. This is a 1300 watt 5-channel, so it's 900 RMS, 1 ohm on the rear, and then 125 by 2 and 75 by 2 on the front 4. So it's a legitimate full system amplifier. You can power a couple of big subs and some awesome speakers with it. So
I have to interject, Nick. I got to tell a story. I was lucky enough to own one of these things. The original one. It was in such good shape. No nicks on it. Nice and shiny. But I owned it for like an hour and a half because literally the moment I had it, I had 2 offers on it. And so I decided to flip it and just to make a quick buck. But I regretted it ever since that day. So, yeah, it's kind of, bittersweet to see that come back. Pretty cool.
Now you can get a new one.
I guess so.
Back in stock soon. So
yes,
ready
nice.
to go.
Well done.
So there's a beauty shot look of it with the side LED light up. If you'll notice, we've been putting LEDs on everything for quite a while, and now they're cool. We're ahead of the game. So LEDs on everything. And so this is the look of the rest of the VIV line, which VIV stands for 6.5 because we started making audio in 65. So this is our high-end line, and the Bell is a special edition in that line. I'll let Ellis talk a bit about this because he lives and breathes these every day. So I'll let him talk a little bit about the features of the VIV amps.
So I would say from the top down, it's the best sounding amp Memphis has ever made. I mean, I think I probably owned every 5-channel that's been built since '97. This one, hands down, sounds the best. It runs the smoothest. It's not a huge amplifier. The fact that it has some onboard DSP features really helps us on the output side. The sub amps, 36 dB per octave crossovers. So if you need to set your crossover point and know that it chops the sound off, these amps will definitely do that. Bass boost built in. The multi-channel amps, a lot of those have a bandpass feature, so you can really get into what people are doing nowadays with the amplifiers. This amp does also feature a wireless bass knob. So it works off 2.4 gigahertz technology, which is kind of like old home phone technology. So unlike Bluetooth, it can pair to more than one device at a time. So if you build a big system and you're running 4 2200s or 4 3Ks, once you power that bass knob up, it'll actually control all of the amps at the same time with the one knob through the pairing. And just to comment one more time on what Nick said about the LED lighting, these do have the undercarriage lights, which look cool. The top of the amps also illuminate, and they are RGB. So you can dial in the correct color that you want. If you already have red lighting in the car, you can make the amps light up red. So nice little touch for the custom trunk build.
Yes, sir. So we call that Argaba.
Argaba?
Argaba. Yeah,
Really?
man. Wicked.
All right. Yeah. And actually, Ellis misspoke. It's 48 dB on the monos and 24 on the full range. But the cool thing about the bass boost, too, is it got a selectable bass boost frequency. So you can select the width of the bass boost and dial in the frequency. If you build the bandpass box, you can have boost going for 20 hertz. It's pretty awesome.
And that comes with the knob?
Those you set on the amplifier, the knob just controls the output of the bass.
Just the output of the bass. Gotcha.
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. And I remember that home phone technology. It was expensive to get that one.
Well, up next, sticking with the VIV line, this is in our opinion, the best subwoofer in car audio that's ever been made, and we'll tell you why in a minute or a second. So this is the VIV 1422, the 6.5 14-inch sub. Let me get into why it's 14 inches. So we started with how big we could make a voice coil while still making it easy to be mass produced. And that number was 7.5 inches. So we have a 7.5 inch voice coil, double layer instead of 4-layer. It's got a dual layer composite fiber cone. If you notice here, we call it the accordion surround, the folded surround. That allows for more excursion while enlarging the movable surface area and also keeping it more linear. It's got a 7.5 inch shorting, which helps with distortion, 320 ounce magnet, and unlike very few woofers on the market, you can see here the magnet's on the inside of the voice coil because the voice coil is 7.5 inches, so it's pretty big. And then if you look here at the bottom, our DVVC cooling, our direct vent voice coil cooling, it vents right into the voice coil gap to keep that cool. A lot of times, a lot of the companies do that, but they also vent it in the pole and the voice coil gap, which kind of counteracts each other because it's going to be pushing and pulling into the voice coil gap when the voice coil is moving up and down. So we just vent it right into the voice coil gap. So when the woofer moves up, it pulls cooler in. When it moves down, it pushes the hot air out. So what this means with making a 14-inch sub, we started with that 7.5-inch voice coil. The smallest we could make it with a 7.5-inch voice coil was 14 inches. In addition to that, we didn't want to make it a standard size because we didn't want this thrown in any standard box. But the benefits of that are this frequency response. So if you look there from just above 20 to 500, this woofer plays flat. So in addition to be a 2200 watt 14-inch sub that will make your ears bleed, it's also a sub that is super clean. So you can flat response from 20 to 500 while also moving a ton of air. This
you already made my toes curl when you said 7.5-inch voice coil, and then seeing the design on that surround to maximize excursion to get like the X Max must be ridiculous on this, but don't know what to say. Haven't really seen been presented anything quite like that yet.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people that are claiming to have a badass SP and SQ sub, and we're saying that we have both in one sub.
What's the power handling?
2200.
Okay.
With that response, I mean, you see that response. That's right above.
That's pretty awesome. Flat. That's pretty flat.
And for that reason, the end of last year, we came out with a loaded enclosure. The front of the box is the same look as the amplifiers. It's ported. Stupid loud. If you want to listen to it, it's super clean. So this box has been extremely successful since we launched it, just because it's a 14-inch sub that took a custom box before.
One size, that's it. 14-inch.
That's it. Yeah, we're looking at making an 11-inch right now. It's in development. We're right now just the 14. So if you want to hear, again, I might be a little bit biased, but the loudest, best sounding sub available, this is it.
Fair enough.
So, all right. Well, let's move along into some of our more fits in everyday sub situation. And my Ellis Vanna White over there has one in his hand.
Okay. Yeah.
So the M series has transitioned. You might remember back in the day, like the M1, maybe way back when. it's transitioned now. This is our cast basket product here. 750 watt RMS. You see it takes some of the technology of the VIV with the folded surround. This is 750 watt RMS. There we go.
Look at that basket, though.
10, 12, and 15. Yeah, this is our sexiest woofer we've ever made. I'll say.
Jeez.
There's the DVCC cooling right into the voice coil gap. So this is an awesome woofer. Sounds amazing. 750 RMS. The best thing about it, we're looking at what Ellis is showing you right there, is our selectable impedance technology. So this is a patent pending technology where in these woofers is actually 3 voice coils. And with those jumpers there, you follow the little diagram, this woofer can be wired to 2 ohm or 1 ohm.
Really? 1 ohm.
If you meter that, it'll be exactly 1 and exactly 2. So you take those jumpers and you put them in the configuration, they're color coded. You wire the jumpers to either 1 ohm or 2 ohm, and the other side you wire right to the amp. And a lot of people,
okay. So the configuration is one side, and the actual wire to the power is
that goes into the amp. That goes right into the amp. So what's different than a lot of other companies are doing is this isn't series or paralleling a coil. So it's not a dual 4 that you're taking to 2 or 8 ohm, or a dual 2 that you're taking to 1 or 4 ohm. This is taking to 1 and 2 ohm. This is like having a dual 4, or this would be like having a dual 2 and dual 4. It's no one else is doing this with 3 voice coils, where if you meter that, it's at 1 or 2 ohm. And we also, our lower power woofers are at 2 and 4 ohm. No one else is doing that. It's patented technology because of that. There's other people that have switches, but they're not doing what we're doing. If there's other people that do 2 or 4 ohm, but if you meter those woofers, they're at 2.3, 4.5. They're not doing it the way we're doing it, to where it's exactly 1, exactly 2, and our lower powered woofers are exactly 2 and exactly 4. So that's brand new technology last year and rolling into this year with our woofers 300 watts and up.
I got to give kudos to the engineering and design team. They are really modern looking and like nothing I've ever seen.
If I could point out 2 things about this real quick. So this is obviously a very large 10-inch sub, but it's so versatile across the line. It's a 10, 12, and 15. The 10-inch sub will function in a sealed box basically as long as the sub fits in the box. 0.7 cubic feet on the 10 sealed.
Right.
So that's awesome. All the way up to the 15-inch, which you can put in a 4.5 cubic foot box ported for a single sub. So really any enclosure works. The other thing is that we brought that V-groove surround from that 14-inch sub into the sub. So it kind of maximizes your cone area. Plus, it gives you great excursion. But a big thing with the sub is almost all the excursions within the frame of the sub. So if you run this in some kind of a downfire box or a custom box in the back of a Jeep, you don't have to worry about this sub hitting and banging off the floor, because most of the actual play takes place within the frame of the sub, which is very nice for install and keeping the subs looking nice and new.
I do also very much so appreciate that dual stitched blue thread around the woofer cone. That's really sexy.
Well, we try to be a little bit sexy. Obviously, you can see both of us are extremely sexy, so we like to roll that into the product as well.
It's all part of the company DNA. It's very obvious.
Exactly.
That is true.
So, as I mentioned, basically every sub now going down to our Mojo, which a lot of people know the Mojo line. That's our step up from the M7. This is supposed to be stupid loud. These are 12 and 15 inch. Again, the selectable 1 or 2 ohm impedance. You see that we have the aluminum voice coil there. The Mojo woofer has been in our line for a long time now, and we're known for being stupid loud. How big is the Magna on this, Ellis? Do you know offhand? I don't remember that one.
240 ounce?
240 ounce magnet on that. So shares the basket with the M7, but definitely louder. So good thing for everybody going from purchasing on the Memphis side down to the dealer end. And at the consumer is you only have to buy one model, one SKU per size, and it's scalable. So if an end user customer only has money for a single 12, well, when he's money for that second 12, all you got to do is pull out the other one, rewire it, throw the other sub in. You don't have to worry about changing to a dual 4, dual 2, whatever. you always have the right sub in stock is the answer if you've got one of our subs in stock. So that's very awesome, and what we really were striving for when we came up with this technology. Then
what is that an 8?
That is an 8-inch.
That's gross.
That's an 8-inch 900-watt RMS. This is these have been, we can't keep these in stock. Even before COVID, our factory was having problem keeping up just because we sold so many. So 6.5 and 8-inch, dual 2 and dual 4 ohm. We're working on the the selectable technology will be coming down the road. Right now it's still dual 2, dual 4. That thing it's beefy. 700 RMS on the 6.5, 900 RMS on the 8, and these things absolutely slam. So again, has the DVVC cooling right into the voice coil gap. They're super sexy little woofers that put out a lot of output.
Another cool thing with this too, if you notice the orange ring around, it actually has an anodized aluminum heatsink to help dissipate the heat and keep the sub nice and cool. I know you liked the blue stitch on the last sub, so we have the Memphis orange stitch on this one. And I will tell you, I was probably the biggest skeptic of a 6.5 and 8-inch sub when we decided to launch these. I didn't think it was gonna bang and do the job. I was wrong. I personally own these now. It's a crazy loud sub that you can put way more power on than you would have imagined just a couple of years ago. I mean, the fact that you could take a 2,000 watt amp and put on a pair of 8s is ridiculous.
It's a 900 watt rating on an 8. That's crazy.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, because of that, we kind of launched it thinking, oh, we'll sell some, whatever. It's cool, but I don't know how we're going to sell. To be honest, that's how we thought. Then we just sold them like ridiculous. So we've launched a full line of enclosures. So this is the Mojo Mini enclosures. We have them in single and dual 6-inch. So that's the singles. That's what the dual 6-inch looks, 6.5 looks like with the port on the side. And then we also have a dual down-firing truck box. This box disappears in the back of a Jeep. You don't even know it's there, right behind the seat. Fits perfect. Fits under some truck seats, under a lot of single cab trucks. And this is, 1,500 RMS dual 6.5 downfire box that absolutely slams. If you notice there's some mounting holes. It comes with the brackets. If you don't bolt this to the ground, it's going to be bouncing. So you better mount it. And because of that, and because we had so many of our customers come up with custom boxes, we have just launched this year, if we can get them in stock and keep them in stock, is vehicle-specific dual 8-inch for Ford and Chevy. And I'll tell you right now, Dodge is in the works. So this is ported, under-seat, vehicle-specific.
What kind of finish is that?
It's like a Rhino-line finish. So it looks
tough. It looks like a tough finish.
It looks rugged. It is very rugged. You can't.
I'm dying to know what that sounds like. What two of those sound like under the right power? That's pretty. Makes me curious right there.
Yeah, we the first few prototypes that we sent to a few of our sales guys down here who had the trucks ready for them, and they were like a little bit skeptical until they had them in there. And needless to say, once they test fitted them, they didn't take them out. They're still in their trucks. So I'm very excited about those, and we're going to continue moving forward with more of those. It's just getting the time to get them built.
Yeah.
One thing to point out on all of those Mojo Mini enclosures, from the single subs to the dual to the vehicle specific, when we design these boxes, they're all built to the optimum spec for the sub. So if somebody was to call in and ask us, hey, I want to build a box for 2 mini Mojo 8s, how do I build it? We can give them that information, but we already have that prefab. So if the boxes are not large, they look kind of large because the subs are so small, but man, every one of those boxes is built to the optimum spec. So even if you build it, you're not going to build a better sounding box than this box.
Yeah, and the guys that are designing them, like Ellis and our other main box builder, Tony, they're like uber nerds on it too. So they're building exactly how they would build it in their full nerdarium of building boxes.
Nerdarium of box building.
That's absolutely. So they don't cut any corners on those. Well, got a lot to cover now, so I'm probably going to go
You got
fast.
20 minutes. You got 20 minutes.
Oh, so we got to go fast. So I just want to talk about some new products that we have that are new to everywhere in the whole world, especially Canada. And that's our Mojo Pro. These are really badass if you want to be loud.
Wow.
This is just pure loud. This isn't going to give you the best sound quality. You don't care about that. All you want to be is loud. Great value, great price, $750 RMS. That our Mojo Pro line is all about being loud, both in subs and in speakers. It's you want to be loud. That's simply it. And the retail price points are incredible for this woofer. If you can see there, like the treated paper cone, kind of the old school look with the big orange M. Really, really awesome woofers. These just launched. They're finally just shipping any day now.
And the stitch again.
Got to keep it loud and proud. Orange. Then moving into not so loud, but really awesome is our SRX bass packages. So we have a line of bass packages, self-powered bass tube, 8, 10, and 12, as well as a single 12 and a dual 12 with an actual separate amplifier bass package. These are everyday awesome sellers. So actually the bass 2 was developed for Canada and has done extremely well up there before we had it, before we stopped doing business up there. So these are everyday packages you could sell to a guy that used to have 2 12s in his trunk when he was 25. Now he's 38 and has 2 kids. Well, they have a removable power lug. So if you want to put the box in there, the amplified system, pull the plug out, you can take the box out to go to Costco and then put it back in, to jam out to Run DMC on your way home from work. And kind of on the same note, our new entry-level package is our SE210. This is Street Edge going back. Street Edge used to be our entry-level line going back in the day. So this is a dual 10 party pack that I'm putting it in here because our dealers sell a ton of these. It's got a side port, dual 10 with a 500 RMS box, and the retail price points are super low. This is a doorbuster that still is an amazing entry-level first system for anyone. And this is a bulletproof woofer. It's a 200 RMS woofer. So 2 of them on the 500 RMS amp, and they don't blow. I guess I'm not telling people to try to do it, but we don't have any returns on it. It's bulletproof entry level.
We're very confident about its reliability.
Yes, sir. There's a nice look at them stacked up.
That's the party pack?
That's the party pack. So our party pack stuff, we have a nice 4-color box. So if you want a floor stack, you can draw attention. They can be an add all their own right on your store. And we have a ton of other closures. We don't have the time to cover everything, but our PR level, power reference, if you've done Memphis at any point in the last 20 years, power reference. We have our subwoofers. Those have selectable voice coils. We have a ton of different options. Just don't have the time to get everything in this 1 hour. So just touching on the highlights, the little things that set us apart for the short.
Don't worry, Nick. I'm sure we'll be back on another platform we have called Connected, where we do a little one-on-one lunch hour learning session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We can definitely get some more.
Don't feel so bad.
All right.
This is introductory. We just want to give people a taste. Yes.
Brand new speaker series for 2021, the M series speakers. Really cool about these. Easy to integrate, multiple sizes, and every size except for the 4-inch is a convertible. So pivotable tweeter, or you can use it as a component. So this would be an evolution of our MC line going back a long time. So new for 21. Look it up on that one because those are good, but don't have time to spend too long on that. But working on making easy for the dealer to not stock so much and be able to sell to anyone, whether it's a 5x7 or 6x9. We know a lot of cars have those in component now. Now we can do that in a coax or a component.
6x9 as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then PR, power reference. This is our most well-known line. We have it in amp sub speakers. The reason I'm putting this in there, there's nothing new on the PR this year, but this line is so versatile. We go from a 2.75 all the way up to a 6x9 and everything in between, including the 5x7 and 6x9 component. We have a 2 and 3-way in the 6.5 and 6x9, and we also have direct fit for Toyota. This is drop-in, plug-and-play remove the speakers, put in the factory locations. Everything's plug and play. So this speaker line is our best-selling line. We sell more PRX speakers than really anything else in our entire line due to the versatility, the price point. It's the everyday price point, and now with some direct fit, we're working on more direct fit as the success of the Toyota has done extremely well. Next up is our Mojo Pro. So again, I mentioned Mojo Pro in the subs. That was 750 RMS, just about being stupid loud. This is our Pro line of the speaker version. The Mojo version, if you kind of look there, it looks a little bit different because that dust cap is sealed. So the front side of these speakers are water resistant, and we use a neo magnet, which means that these Pro speakers are designed to drop in right into a motorcycle application. So the neo magnet makes them smaller. The front side being water resistant, they're stupid loud, and they're designed to be in bikes or wherever else you need to be stupid loud. So that was a change we made on the Mojo Pro. We had a lot of people even asking on marine applications. Now we can throw these in boats, water resistant up front, being stupid loud.
What type of tweeter?
That is a horn. What tweeter is that, Ellis? I don't know offhand. I'm not the best at the Pro stuff.
I don't remember the millimeter right off, but it's definitely the horn-loaded Pro style.
But it's a horn-loaded
crazy
tweeter.
loud.
Is the
Yeah.
type of tweeter was after? Okay, it's a horn-loaded tweeter.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's 25 millimeter horn-loaded tweeter. I'm dumb.
25.
That's why it's good for the
Harley-Davidson
application. Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So we sell this in a 6.5, 8-inch mid, the tweeter, and also a component with 6.5, two crossovers, 2 tweeters. So very versatile. We also have an entry-level line SRX Pro that we're selling very well in OEM applications that fit in everyday cars. So Pro lines being sold in everyday cars, which it hadn't been until the last couple of years. Jumping quickly into our marine and power sports line. This is a quick look at what our 6.5 and a bigger version 8-inch speakers look like. Some cool things about our speaker line is in the 6.5, 8-inch, and 6x9. They come with white and gray grills in the box. You don't have to worry about it. Either have white or gray, either one, and they come RGB in the box, all models. So you have to worry about buying anything. Do I need the white grills, the gray grills? Do I need RGB? Not. You got
All Argaba.
Yep, all Argaba.
All Argaba.
And they also all come with the mesh, so you can either use a grill with or without the mesh. So a lot of versatility, all in the same box. So
how about the controller? What's the controller?
The controller we sell separately.
Okay.
Little remote that's easy to plug in. So
like an RF?
Yes.
Remote? Okay.
Yes, RF remote. Or if you've got other system, you got another head unit, you got one of our head units that controls it, you just wire it right up to there. Either way. So these have pivotable tweeters on the 6.5, 6x9, and the 8-inch. And I will throw these out there against virtually any speakers in the market. Even close to their price point. We get a ton of love on these speakers. These speakers sound amazing. If you've never heard our marine speakers, MXA 60, 80s, or 69Ls, you got to listen to them because they are a badass speaker and sound amazing. On that, moving into our tower speakers, we make these in 6.5 and 8-inch. All come pre-wired RGB, come in white and gunmetal. These are horn-loaded. These are legitimate horn-loaded compression drivers. If you were to pull this driver out, I wish I had one. I probably should have done that. If you pull this out of the can, you'll see a big magnet for the 8-inch MIG, and you'll see another giant magnet for the motor, for the magnet for the compression horn. These are legitimate, true horn-loaded compression drivers that'll compete with anyone on the market, and I mean anyone. You want to throw it out there, I'll compete with them on an 8-inch speaker. So we make them in a 6.5 and an 8-inch. These are incredible sounding speakers that we did sell a ton of these in Canada when we were still in Canada. People loved the output and the sound quality and the range of these speakers. And we also make it in a black and 6.5 that comes with a regular tweeter, a PI dome tweeter for you don't need such distance or width. The tweeter, the PI dome tweeter worked pretty well. And Ellis, you could comment. We sell these from ocean boats to lake boats to guys that want to be stupid loud on a side by side.
Yeah, it's It's gotten to the point now with the side-by-sides and even the four-wheelers, they go on everything. I mean, as far as the Memphis line, if you want to be heard a long way away, this is the way to do it. We do have a new smaller version for power sports, which as far as the price point and the performance and the RGBs is, I think it's pretty much unmatched, and it's kind of the baby brother to this.
These are 8s?
These are 8s. We have a similar look, again, 8s and 6.5s, but these are the 8s that you're looking at here, yeah.
All right.
And Ellis's comment, here's our 62 BS. This is our Power Sports can. So this is a speaker, like people ask us what speakers in this. When we deal our Power Sports and we show you in a minute our motorcycle stuff, these are speakers designed specifically for that application. These are designed for Power Sports. So we ramp up the highs because with the motor on, no one's going to hear the lows. And so we keep the lows good. These aren't car speakers. This is nothing to do. This is not our car speaker at all. This is our 62 PS. This is designed for, these are the rears for our Power Sports pods, our vehicle-specific powerful product. I will throw these up against virtually anyone, and the price point beats everyone. Like, we designed this product to just be loud and sound good in an off-road environment with a loud motor and wind in your ears. And this is another one. Unfortunately, we have a really big problem keeping them in stock. Again, RGB's built in. The back Memphis logo, you can rotate it whichever way you mount the speaker, so you can show off your brand very happily regardless of which direction you mount the speaker. And then sticking with this Power Sports, moving right in because we know that's the big growth category. This is the coolest soundbar to come out this
that's
year.
a soundbar?
So it's 9-inch soundbar. If you see Ellis is holding it right there. He's holding the actual product.
Let's go take a look at that. Yeah.
This is we're calling our MXA SB9. It's a 9 inches wide. So even bigger than 7.5 now. Memphis is 9 inches now. There it is with the iPhone. So this speaker was originally designed to be a personal watercraft speaker to put on your Sea-Doo, your Wave Runner. This is IPX7, which means it'll play underwater for 1 meter for 30 minutes. Ellis will show you underneath. Oh, right there, there's a Gore-Tex valve. So this could be sitting on top of your ski, getting super hot, and then when it flips over and you get into the cold water, it'll change the air pressure would change inside dramatically and cause the speakers to blow out or whatever. That Gore-Tex valve allows the pressure to equalize. So that's why this can be super hot and dunk in cold water and not blow up. The output of this will keep up within 3 dB of virtually everyone else's 20-inch soundbar. It's got 2 3.5s, 2 tweeters. It sounds amazing. So this is designed for personal watercraft, but it comes with the bracketry in the box to use on a side-by-side as well. So this is the ultimate starting system for any vehicle, any off-road or
that is perfect for my golf cart.
It is perfect for a golf cart. Absolutely. You will be screaming in a golf cart. And the brackets that come in the box will bolt right up to a golf cart. As long as you have the 12-volt adapter to get 12 volts to it, it is stupid loud. It's awesome. Bluetooth auxiliary.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Bluetooth aux in as well as 2-channel out to add to it. So this has been a bestseller since we
Did you say there's a 2-channel out?
Yes.
Oh, so you can expand and add an amp later and put 2 cans or something. Okay.
Absolutely. All of our sound bars, and we'll move into the more sound bars. All of our sound bars have input and output. So again, new for this year, I mentioned 20-inch sound bar. That little one, bang for the buck. There isn't a better sound bar in the market, even for ours. It is within 3 dB of this 20-inch sound bar, which has twice as many mids. The cool feature for our SB20 V3 this year is we've added FM radio. So we're one of the few soundbars out there with FM radio. So this has auxiliary, this has Bluetooth, this has line out, and it has FM. So this is a really, really cool soundbar and unique with its FM capabilities. And again, the brackets come for standard bar mounting in the box. And we also make this in a 35. The 35-inch does not have FM, just the 20 has FM. And then our creme de la creme, our overhead soundbar, our SB28. This is a 28-inch soundbar with 4 6.5, 4 tweeters. It's supposed to mount on the bar. It's be directly above your head. It's got a dome light built in. If you see on the bottom there, you can do a million different colors on the LEDs to light it up to make it look beautiful. And And the coolest thing about this soundbar is it's driven by our app radio. So we also make the app radio as a standalone piece, which is what you're looking at now, but that's built into that soundbar I just showed you. So with the standalone radio, you have the controller right there. So you can have your hard button, play, pause, forward, back, volume up and down, select your source, just like you have built into the soundbar that's on the front of it. But all the other controls are controlled by the app. So you have volume, fade, balance, you have EQ, Bluetooth settings, LED colors. If you look there on the right, you can select a million different colors.
Argaba
everywhere. And so Ellis, I mean, you talk to a lot of our customers. I mean, the applications for the soundbar is great because it's on a side-by-side with all these features, but the radio itself can be used in so many different places.
The best thing about it, or I guess maybe one of the funniest things, is we obviously launched this as a power sports piece. Like it's, power sports marine for boats. The first time that we showed this at a trade show, the response we got was classic car. I got this older car. I don't want to cut the dash. I want to put a full system in this car, truck, take that thing, hide it away.
What are the outputs?
It has front, rear, and sub output. It's 5 volts all the way across. So
5 volt?
Yep. It's like a very solid higher end radio. Sounds great.
And it's connected via Bluetooth to your phone.
Yep.
And there is aux input as well if you want to hardwire the aux input. And also for the marine application, it has weather band. So it has AM, FM built in, but the antenna is still a regular antenna. So you don't have to worry about reception. So if you have the FM radio antenna hooked up, you set the FM channels through your phone, but you can control it all with the external.
Can you go back one slide, please, Nick? I just want to see it. There it is. Okay. So it is literally a hideaway radio.
Correct.
Oh, but it does come with the Carlisle switch? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, like a little rocker panel switch.
Rocker panel switch, yeah, okay.
Yep. So you don't have to use that, but it's included if you want that.
If you wanted it.
As a push button option.
Yeah, so we've had a lot of guys that'll just like wire that and wedge it between the seat if they want to use it.
Sure, it can go anywhere. Yep. Does it have power?
Yes. So it's wired. It's wired.
No. Does it have any amplification power?
Oh yes, sorry. Yeah, it's got a 4x50 built in as well.
Okay, like any other head unit. Okay.
Every other head unit. Yeah. It's a legitimate head unit that's app controlled. It's pretty unique. There's other app head units that you can control with an app, but you have to have the actual head unit mounted somewhere.
Right.
This one you do not.
Yes, I understand. There is no physical interface. That's it. It's a black box.
Yep.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice piece. You got about 2 minutes left, sir.
Oh, 2 minutes. Well, we've got some marine radios. There's a dual zone radio that is for the price point, camera input, auxiliary Bluetooth, everything. This is similar to other brands out there, so we can connect up to 5 radios together. That's coming out now. So let's see. And then I want to talk about our power sports kits, vehicle specific kits for Razor, Ranger, General, and X3.
You guys do that too?
Yes, we do that too. We do a little bit of everything. So we offer this it uses our app radio, is the brains, comes with the amplifier and an all-in-one kit. So for everything except the Ranger, you can do front, rear with amp and sub. The cool thing about our product is the sub is self-amplified. So you can scale it. You don't have to worry about different amplifiers. So if you want to do an amplified system and the guy doesn't have the money for the sub, you do the front and rears on an amp. You can add the sub
add it later.
Yeah, there's no change in amplifier. All comes, as I said, in an overpacked box. Everything's in one box. These have been doing extremely well since we got out of the gate. We can't keep it in stock, unfortunately. It's a bad thing. But all of our speakers as well, they're Argaba.
Argaba.
100%. And all of our enclosures also have a light up Memphis logo, and they have a downfiring LED, so you can control the color of the LED as I showed you on the app, a million colors, and it downfires into the car, into the side by side to light everything up. So it's pretty cool. We like Argabas on everything.
Everything.
Everything. So there's
that's where they go. That's what I was trying to figure out. All right.
Yeah, so that's a Razor. That's a Razor right there. And if you see below, it's lit up blue. So pretty cool. The rear is terrible photo. We didn't get lit up, but there are Argabas built in there. So everything's plug and play with the harness as well for the Argaba and speaker source. Everything is all plug and play.
Gotcha. Sweet.
And the same thing we have for Harley now. So Harley, Road Glide, Street Glide comes with the 3 different grills. These are speakers similar to Power Sports, are tuned specifically for the bike. I have an ex-Harley aftermarket engineer, so these speakers are plastic packs, neo magnets. They fit under the weight that Harley requires. So if you put these in there, you won't feel any weight difference from the factory. All plug and play. It's got the magic box in the harness, so you don't have to flash the radio. It'll give you a flat response into the amplifier. We have it for the front and the tour packs. There's a sweet picture of it installed with the bracket, wiring, everything. It looks factory because it's all designed to be right in there. And then there's
with the grills.
With the grills. Yeah. So, well, I rushed through the end, but
did we get to it all?
We didn't get to everything on our line, but we got to everything that I wanted to try and talk about today.
That was the point. All right. Well, let's wrap this up real quick, guys. Congratulations to your return to the Canadian market through Automobility. I, for one, am quite impressed with many of the things that you guys are bringing to market with. What a great evolution you guys have had. Wow, those cast baskets are going to haunt me tonight. And what a great expansion as well to cover many categories. I think dealers are going to look at this and saying this could be, a multi-category solution for them. I will leave you the floor for the last minute. What message do you have for our Canadian dealers?
Well, I want to say thank you for the kind words. We're very excited to be back in Canada. Automobility is a great partner. We've learned that just in the very beginning of being with them. And yeah, our line is very wide. We have a lot of options for a lot of dealers. So we're excited. I wish I could go up there and travel up there and see all the dealers up in Canada. So hopefully sometime soon we'll be up there. You're gonna see our pretty faces in real life pretty soon.
Absolutely.
So
all right. And Ellis, keep up the good job on the R&D and the development, sir.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Guys, I'm going to let you go now, but thank you so much for sharing with us, and we'll see you sooner than later.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks.
There you have it, guys. An official Canadian launch and the return of Memphis Audio back into the Canadian market through Automobility. Pretty exciting stuff. Definitely give your Automobility rep a call, get a catalog, get an appointment, do what you need to do. Really exciting stuff coming from that camp. Thanks for joining us and keeping up with our live coverage coming to you from CMA Industry Week Day 7, continuing with our distributor Automobility. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.